Well, my daughter was 12 years when she got the first vaccination, and it's a part of the national vaccination program. I've not investigated anything about this vaccine. I've just thought, well, it's safe like the other ones, and they have made so much campaign about it that this was really a revolution within vaccination, and it could save you from cancer and so forth. And then my daughter started to have a headache nearly every day, and she had felt noisy, and she was dizzy, and she started to faint, and there came more and more symptoms, and I didn't know what it was. Then we talked to the doctor, and we talked to the school, and said, "Is something wrong here? Is she not feeling well, or what can be the reason for this?" So then one day I read in the newspaper about another girl who was having the exact same symptoms, and the parents to that girl thought it was the vaccine, and I thought, that's right. When I looked at the timeline, it fitted perfectly into to my daughter's situation. And this mother sent me a lot of clinical studies showing all the side effects that is not that we have not been informed about, but which was in the SPC, the product description in the European Medical Agency. And I thought, well, this is exactly how my daughter felt. I could just say check to all the adverse events that was mentioned there. And we went back to our doctor and we said, could it be this? And she said, well, I've never heard about side effects before of this vaccination, but if you think it's that, you can report it to the healthcare authorities. And I was just thinking, well, if this is the situation and this is the poor information that they get, I need to go into this fight, because this is not reasonable. You have 100% healthy young girls, and they are now disabled from living their life. So I talked again to this mother from the newspaper, and she was also very active. So we decided to make a patient organization, actually together with Carsten Viborg also, and we started to try to talk to the politicians about it. And to begin with, they were saying, no, there's nothing here, and we've never heard about that, and we kept on pointing at the documents at the European Medical Agency where it says, well, there are these side effects. And at a certain time, the person in charge in the health authorities said, well, you're right, but all what was it he said? He said, in all wars, there are fallen soldiers. And I said, well, if I send my son to Afghanistan, I know there is a risk. But when I go in and get my daughter vaccinated and I'm not informed about the side effects, I don't know that there is a risk here. And I just thought, I will fight for this. It's not reasonable at all. So today the situation is that we have more than 2,200 people who has reported adverse event in Denmark. And even the employers in the healthcare authorities says the number are higher because the doctors don't report it, and too many of the girls and the families are so weak that they cannot overview how to report their adverse events themselves. We also had a documentary made back in 2015 showing the story about 3 girls who are very, very ill after the vaccine. And that was a game changer, because certainly other medias dared to write about the situation. And politicians said, well, we need to do something here. We have a group of girls who has not been taken care of, who is not acknowledged at all in the healthcare system. We need to do something. So they decided to open what they call HPV centers, one in each region in Denmark. Only one center, which is in Frederiksberg, where the doctors started to say, hey, something is wrong about this vaccine, because we have never seen all these girls before. If you are referred to that center, they acknowledge that you are ill and that you have adverse events and you have to be taken care of, but they don't have any treatment. But in the other 4 regions, it's like the parents and the girls are just being told, well, this has nothing to do with the vaccine. You're just having, they call it a functional disease, which is a disease that you cannot explain, and they more or less say it is between your ears. I mean, you're crazy, and your mom is crazy, by the way, also. It's the system who has harmed these girls, so they need to treat them as well. They need to do some scientific research so they can find out what is wrong with these girls and what kind of treatment do they need. So this is really what we're fighting for. And then we're fighting for acknowledgement that when you come into, like, if you're 22 years old and you come into a job center because you are unemployed and you say, I cannot take a job because I have all these symptoms after the vaccine, you know, the people at the job center will say, I don't trust you. Go out and get a job or we will take your money from you. We need acknowledgement that these girls are sick and that they cannot live a normal life. They cannot study, they cannot go to work because they are so disabled after this vaccine and with all their symptoms. People should know what they are saying yes to, and they should know the risk. It's not that we say that we are against the vaccine, we just say it's up to people themselves to take a decision. But the need, what should I say, the ground of information to take a right decision.